Okay, today we are going to draw a bald eagle. So you can follow along step by step with me, pause the video if you need to. But we're going to do this step by step, and what I'll say first, and I repeat this all the time in art class because it's very important and students always forget this, draw lightly at first, draw very lightly, because that way you'll be able to erase some of your lines later. If you make a mistake, you can erase. One of the most common mistakes I see kids make is they draw too dark right away and then they cannot erase. So we're going to start with just a couple oval shapes on our paper. So wherever you want your eagle to be, it depends on how big you want it, but I want a little bit of background. So I'm going to make my oval for the body, and see how lightly I'm sketching it in? I'm going to make it right, kind of not quite in the middle, just a little off to the left. I like to make, and it's a little down lower. I don't want to make it perfectly centered on the picture, because it doesn't make for as interesting of a drawing. Then above that oval, we're going to make an oval. So this is kind of just like an egg shape that is vertical. Now we're going to make a horizontal egg shape up here, and it's going to be a little smaller, like so. So it's about even with the first circle. Okay, now let's start doing some little details here. In the front of this little circle, I'm just going to make where the beak's going to be. I'm just going to make just a little bump right there. Later I'm going to make that into a pointy beak. Okay, then we'll connect this is going to be the head. We're going to connect it to the body. So we're going to kind of just make a curved line going down like that. And later we're going to add a wing over here. So I'm just going to kind of sketch in where that wing's going to be. And then from the bottom of the front of the face, we're going to make a line that starts by curving in like that, and then it's going to curve back out and connect to the chest. Now we can always come back in and correct any of this as we kind of make mistakes or whatever. Then we want to make, on the bottom, we want some tail feathers. So I'm just going to make kind of another oval shape on the bottom. That's going to be where the tail feathers are going to be. And then I'm going to sketch in lightly a couple lines for where my branch is going to be. Maybe we'll make this go off the page right here. Okay, so now that's going to be where the branch is going to be. And then right above the branch, I want to make like a little curved line for where the leg's going to be right there, and then we'll do another one in the front somewhere like right there. Okay, they look like little pants right now, but eventually those will turn into the part where the feet and talons come out of. And then let's go ahead and start to make the shape of the wing. So right here where the shoulder is, I'm going to continue this down to the branch like so, and then we're going to just make kind of a little curved line on the top. It's like a shoulder, but it's the top part of the wing. And then this is going to go down behind that leg right there. Okay? So, and then over here we're going to have another wing, but you're just going to, actually I'm going to see this little front part of the oval. I'm actually going to make that go in and connect to the leg. See right there, I just made that connect to the leg. And then you could erase this line. I'm going to go ahead and erase that because we don't need that now. And then we're going to make another little bump right here in the front. We're going to make a little bit of the front wing. So I make a curved line, and it's going to connect down to right about here where that leg is going to be. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but you get the idea. So we started with just two small ovals, and then we're just kind of building on those as we go. All right, so let's go back up to the head here, and I'm going to make the beak. So right here, we're going to want this to curve down. See, I made that curve straight down. You don't want it to go in. This is a mistake I see a lot when kids try to draw beaks, is they make it curve inward. You just want it to go straight down. And then we're going to make a little point right there. Okay? Now I'm going to continue this line back into the head, and this is going to be kind of the mouth, like that. You know, mine's a little weirdly curved there, which is cool. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. It can be kind of curvy. And then I'm just going to fix the bottom part of this beak. So if we just erase right there, and we want the bottom part of the beak to start right about here, right where this, right in the middle, we want to leave a little bit of the top part showing through there. And then we'll just come back and then I'm going to make a little angle line, and then we're going to go around the mouth. So see how I did that? I made like a little angle right there. Now again, don't worry, yours does not have to look exactly the same as mine. It's okay if it doesn't look exactly the same, right? So I'm going to then connect this up to this top part of the beak with just a simple curved line. Okay, I am drawing slightly darker now because I know that I'm going to keep these lines later, but still light enough so I could erase if I needed to. Now right now I notice that my head looks really skinny, my neck right here, so I want to change that a little bit. So let's just kind of go back to here. And see how I just made the neck a little wider? I still made it curve into this top part of the body, but it's much wider now, and I like that a lot better. Eventually we'll go back in and erase all these lines. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do the eye now. So like right about here, we're gonna make a curved line for the top of the eye, and the eagle sort of has almost like an angry looking eye when you look at an eagle or a hawk. So to make it angry, we want it to curve up. So I'm going to make a line that curves up like that. See how I did that? It curves, starts by curving down and then back up a little bit. So it's just angled upwards, right? If he doesn't look angry enough, erase it and go back and make it more angled. And then in the back here, we're going to make a little circle, and there's where the eye is going to be. And then we'll make like a dot inside of that. Okay, and I'll add some more details later, but for now we're just going to leave it like that. And then let's make the bottom of the head. So the bottom of the head is going to be kind of a jagged line. So first I'm going to go in here and just erase some of these lines that I don't need, right? Okay, and then down here on the bottom I'm just going to make just an uneven line. I'm not really even worrying about where I do it. Just kind of make a jagged looking line. All right. You know what I noticed? I think the eye is too high up. So we're going to fix that a little bit. Let's go and bring it down just a little bit. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm just bringing my eye down a little bit because I felt like it was too high on the paper. So little things like that we can kind of fix as we go, right? And then I'm gonna just, while I'm up here working on the head, I'm gonna make this line a little more jagged. So I'm gonna come here, and then I'm gonna just make that line a little more jagged, like the feathers coming off of the bird. All right, and then let's just throw a few details in here. So we forgot the little nose. We'll make a little nostril right there. And so since I like my head, I'm gonna go back in and darken up this line a little bit. And then I'm just gonna make a little curved line right there, just kind of a detail on the bird, and then maybe we'll make a few random little lines inside the bird there for the feathers. And there we go. I think we're good on the head now. All right, now we'll move down to the feet. So this probably is the hardest part. So right there I just made kind of, just like I did up here with the head, I just went ahead and made the bottom of this line kind of jagged, like bumpy, right? And then I'm gonna fix the back of this one too. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna make it kind of, see, just bumpy like that. Just a few little angly lines. Now, I am going to make 3 toes on each foot. We'll say the back toe would be going around the back side of the branch. And the talons, I want you to keep in mind, this is the hardest part of the drawing. So you may have a really hard time with this. Just do your best. I don't expect perfection. Every time we do a drawing, we get a little bit better. So let's make 2 little lines. That's going to be for the first part of his leg. And then we're going to make 3 little kind of fingers. So one finger, or toe, I guess you'd say, they're not really fingers. One toe is going to go forward. One toe is going to go down. And then one toe is going to go backwards like that. And then we're going to make some little claws. So I made the pointy little claw coming out of it, like so. Now you can see I've got a little line in the middle of each of those nails. I'm going to go back and erase that and just kind of take that out. Now on my classroom page, I have some links to some pictures on how to draw this eagle that I'm drawing, and I have several other ones. I have linked to a flying eagle that you can do. So you can also refer to those pictures as well to help you. So now let's do the same thing back in the front. We'll make the little bottom part of the leg, and then we'll make one toe going down like this. We'll make one talon going forward, and this one I kind of made bent a little bit, see? And then I'm going to make this last toe going forward, and I'm going to also make that one slightly bent. So just to make it give a little variety, I made the toes a little different on each one. Then this time I'm going to erase. I probably drew those a little too dark, but I'm going to erase the tips of these fingers, and I'm just going to add in the claw on the end. And then this one will go forward. So there you go, we got some claws going on. Now you can make little lines. These birds have segmented toes, you know, like a chicken or any other kind of bird. You can see little lines on them. All right, while I'm here, I'm going to go back in and darken up this line for the branch. Later on, I'll add more branches. But for now, we'll just do that. All right, so now he's standing on a branch. Okay, so let's see. I feel like, first of all, the tail feathers aren't long enough, and maybe the body. I think the chest needs to come out a little more, so I'm going to erase this in front. If you don't need to do this, that's cool, but I just want to make his chest actually come out a little bit more, like so, and then we'll go ahead and draw that wing in there again. And then we're going to go back to this wing right here. And I'm going to start just adding some feathers into that. So I'm just going to come in here and just make some curved lines. Like so. Okay, and then we'll do some of that on this wing as well. Just a few little curved lines. And then I'm going to add just some squiggly lines in here. See, there's not really any kind of rhyme or reason to it. I'm just adding in some little detail lines. Now, last step on this eagle is we need to make the tail feathers. And when I first did this, I made them way too small. Look at, they need to come way down further. So for this, I'm just going to kind of do the outline first. Like we'll make kind of a long one like that. And then we'll add a few more. Okay, and then I can go and erase this line here. And then I'm going to add some more random curvy lines inside. And then we're going to connect it. Actually, I see this little space right here. So we're going to add that. That'll be part of the tail feathers. Okay, so I think we're good now. I'm going to add a few more little lines. Just like, you know, little random detail lines here or there. Now later I could go in here with maybe a Sharpie and trace some of these lines. I'm not going to do that right now, but let's also go ahead now and add some more branches. So right here on the end, I'm going to make some more branches on the end of this. So I'm going to start by making a Y shape. So we go up and down. See how if you turn it sideways, it looks like a Y, right? And then inside that Y, we're going to make a V shape that runs parallel to the Y. So you can see that these branches are thinner than this branch. The branches will keep getting thinner as they go out, and then we can keep doing that. We can do a Y and a V, and you can see that these branches are even smaller, and we can continue that, and we can go off the page. You can make your Y kind of funky. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. We'll make that one go off the page. We'll make this one go off the page. So I made another Y and a V. This one I'm making kind of funky. There's my Y. And maybe I want to just end this branch. So I just kind of ended it. We can make like a little circle on the end right there. So it kind of looks like the branch maybe was broken off right there. And we'll do the same thing over there. And then maybe we'll make this one just a broken branch. So I just made a little circle right there. And we can add little curvy lines inside the branch to give it some texture. Texture means like how something feels, so we want it to look like rough bark. Okay, so there is our eagle. Now, I want to add a little background, so he's standing on a branch, but I'm gonna make some faraway mountains. So just kind of a jagged line. I'll make a tall one. Maybe kind of a rounded one right here. Maybe I'll do like one more like far away in the background. And then in front of the mountains, we add some little foothills. Like so. You can add some little like snow on the tips of these big mountains. And you can add whatever other details you want. Like maybe I'll throw a river in here that's coming way in the distance, so it'll make kind of a curvy line coming, and we'll have the river go off. And then we're going to make another curvy line next to it, so it's going to start out real skinny. And see, I'm following that same line, and as I go forward, you can see it's getting wider, and it'll just go behind the bird and come out right there. So right here, maybe I'll make some lines to make it look like the water is flowing this way. And there we go. We have our eagle. So I am going to go back in now and trace the whole thing with a Sharpie marker. And then we would later go and color it. Now, if you don't want to do this step, you could just go ahead and shade it with pencil. You could do like a pencil shading drawing. But I am going to do this. Okay, so that's it. We are finished with our eagle drawing. You can see I outlined the whole thing with a ultra fine point Sharpie. You don't have to do that. Again, like all our projects here with online learning, you can use whatever you have at home. So if you don't have Sharpies, maybe you trace it with a pen, maybe you shade it with pencil, maybe you don't trace it with a marker, but you just color it with colored pencils or markers. I mean, watercolors, whatever you have at home is fine. And do your best. I know you can all do this. It's going to be difficult. Some of you might struggle. You might have to start over. You might have to crumple up your drawing and throw it away. But if you keep at it, I think you guys can do this. And check out the step-by-step tutorials that I've posted on my Canvas site. I have one that looks similar to this. I have a flying eagle tutorial and several other ones. So you don't have to draw the eagle in the exact same way either. So I want you to do your own thing, make it your own, and have fun with this project. And I look forward to seeing your results. Bye.